All right. Hey, everybody. All two of you so far, but
Happy Friday.
happy Friday night, y'all. It's Kevin and Jennifer from ctbeer.com. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Wow, what an exciting day. Our first ever beer collab. CT Beer, a four-way beer collab with some awesome local brands. What did you think of the beer that we made for you? Exciting. What about
Right?
Did it taste good? I mean,
You could definitely taste the ice cream.
you could definitely taste the ice cream.
It was smooth, creamy,
Yeah.
not overly sweet, which was nice.
Yeah,
Some stouts can be a little overly sweet. This wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Hey, Amanda, thank you. Welcome to the show. So here's what's going to happen tonight. So we're going to be talking to the brewers, to the ice cream makers, to LeBon's Markets. We got the whole band here tonight for you. And next to good beer, when we do these events, what do people want? Okay, you're not going to answer the question. I'll answer it for you. People want good covers.
I thought it was a rhetorical question.
No, it was a real question. People want the opportunity to talk to our local merchants, have an exchange. So that's a good thing about COVID. We can't get near each other, but we can on the internet. So it'll be your opportunity to ask questions to the team, to us. You know, this show's about you, right? Thank you guys for commenting, by the way. What we want you guys to do during the show is talk to each other in the comments. I'll tell you what. How many of you watching right now comment yes if you got the beer today or no if you missed out? Comment yes or no if you got the beer. Let us know. Hopefully you were one of the lucky ones. So what happened today, we heard that we were not there, but the beer sold out in like a couple hours. Super quickly. All right. Well, you know what? Guess what? If you didn't get the beer, you can still watch and be a part of this show. So that's a good thing. And for those of you who did get the beer, comment if you drank it all already. At least save half a can for this. We're going to go as long as we can talking to these guys, you know, and find out what they're all about. These are our local businesses, our merchants. The Big Dipper makes great ice cream.
Yes.
Transcend makes good beer.
Yep.
And LeBon's is a cool family market.
Yes, I was actually there for the first time this week,
Mm-hmm.
and really look forward to going back. It was a great little store, family run, awesome deli, very super clean. In fact, we had our temperatures taken when we walked in, which I was like super impressed with. Not many grocery stores are doing that, so
no, they're not playing around.
Really, very friendly staff and workers.
Well, you told me you love it because it's a nice small town market.
Yeah, I loved it. I really did.
Family place, and we love it. So, well, without further ado, I'll tell you what. For those of you who missed it, we have a little short clip about the brewing process behind the scenes, our brew day with the crew. Let's play it for them, and then we'll get this party started. Talk to the team.
Good.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys are drinking some. Or if you're not, crack it open every beer. Enjoy the show, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. Cheers. And let's get this party started. Let's introduce our special guests. First up, from Big Dipper Icy of Process, Connecticut. The inspiration really behind this beer. I know you love his ice cream. Well, now you can say we love his beer. Meet owner, Harry Rowe.
Hi, Harry.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Ladies.
Yeah.
How are you, Kevin, Jennifer?
We're doing good now that you're here, my friend.
It's another beautiful day in the ice cream business, you know?
That's right, baby. And let me bring in the other guys here from LeBon's Markets. So we have Lawrence O'Brien, the man, he's in charge of the beer fridge.
Which is super impressive there,
Yes.
by the way. Amazing beer fridge.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence. Cheers.
You cracked it open. You're enjoying, huh?
Oh yeah, this is delicious. It's a fantastic beer. If anybody hasn't seen the can yet, by the way, this is
Very cool can.
what we're working with. It's incredible can art. It was done. Most of it was done in house too. So and
Really? Wow.
picture of the Lobata Bing ice cream cone on the front there, which is really cool. So
Yeah, I like how it's like intertwined or inside of the Transcend
yes,
logo as well.
Yeah, they did a nice job with the label. They really did with everything.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
We can talk about the can art and everything else, last but not least. And by the way, Transcend's run a little late, but we'll bring him in. The man really behind this is all his idea. He ran the show, marketing director at LeBon's, great guy. And man, shout out to this dude for putting this all together. Jared Andrews.
Jared.
Yo,
Hey, buddy.
I feel like I'm on the Late Show right now.
You are. All we need is a band.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks for
For
all your
sure.
work on this project as well.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Thank you for all the work you did on this project as
Yeah,
well.
well, thank you for the support. You know what I mean? When we added you guys on, it took this project to a whole nother level. I was excited about it, from the get-go, but once you guys got on and you brought in your multimedia expertise, so it really brought it up.
Thank you, pal. Maybe you can share with everybody, where did you get this wild idea? Because I think the people have spoken. It sold out quick. It was a huge hit. What made you think of bringing so many four-way collaboration, all of us bringing it to do this together?
Really taking kind of a good from a bad. COVID is crazy right now. Everyone's kind of dealing with their struggles in different ways with COVID. So just like I said in the other video, putting a spotlight on the small businesses in Connecticut. Breweries are absolutely getting hit the worst. We're very, us as a grocery store, we're fortunate where we didn't really experience any shutdowns. We didn't really experience too many restrictions. But Lawrence and I can attest. It's that we definitely had our fair share of struggles in different ways. So, just putting a spotlight.
And a shout out to all of you guys in the grocery business. If it wasn't for you, a lot of us would be out of luck, stranded, and you really saved us during COVID. That's for sure, and continue to. Your workers were there, I'm sure, working extra hours, doubly hard, and amongst all the chaoticness of the pandemic and the the regulations and
COVID craziness. Yeah, everyone would be hunting and gathering if it wasn't for us.
exactly.
Yeah,
well stated.
Yeah, and Harry, obviously, you played a big role. I love your freaking ice cream. It's so good. Yeah, I was curious. How did you get your start in ice cream? What made you decide to open an ice cream shop?
My father and my mother started it 34 years ago.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, it'll be 35 this year.
In that specific location?
No, right up the street.
Okay.
Yep, right up the street. My father went to Rutgers University for the commercial ice cream making course, and
Wow.
My mother decorated the cakes. My father made the ice cream, and I was 10 when they opened it up, and I grew up in the ice cream business, and I love what I do.
Yeah.
And it shows. It definitely shows through the quality and just your excitement of the project and your willingness to participate in it.
Yep. Yeah.
Now,
And also my operations manager, Brittany, she really is a large part of this too.
Mhm.
She really makes it.
team effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, where else could you tell people in case they're interested? I know we're not really from up that area. Where else can we get your ice cream? Is it just local to LeBon's in that area, or?
Yeah, you can get it up in Litchfield County too. Also,
Okay.
there are there's a few restaurants down your guys' way that buy my ice cream.
Okay, good.
the Cass Republic, the Ginger Man down in Greenwich.
Awesome.
You know, but mostly Litchfield County in this area, right around here.
Well, you could
You know.
definitely tell the quality is it's a craft ice cream, just like craft beer,
Yes.
craft ice cream, and it's a totally another level of product when you make
Yeah.
it from scratch.
I tried. I mean, I still use the same recipes from 35 years ago.
That's fantastic.
I still use the same vanilla I used 35. You know.
Really, even the
Yeah.
ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
I've been going to Big Dipper since I was a little kid. This part of the state, Big Dipper is like crown jewel, right? So I've been going there since I was a small kid, and going in there and seeing how it's completely the same is crazy. The ice cream is completely the same. And now working with Harry and Britt, it's just, it throws me for a loop sometimes, because
That's very cool.
you know, you'd go in there as a kid and like you think it's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And you never saw the owners, so it's like kind of like Willy Wonka, you know, because you didn't know. You always saw the kids that worked up front.
Right.
And then when I finally got to meet Harry, I was like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
This guy definitely spends his days making ice cream for sure.
Now I'm curious, and I apologize if I missed out on this part of it, but how did you decide that it was going to be that flavor ice cream?
It's actually a really fun story. Back in like April, I got the marketing job at Le Bon's. I've been at Le Bon's for like, if you count the Prospect Store's old company, I've been with Le Bon's for like 10 years. So in April of 2020, I got the marketing job.
Mm-hmm.
And we had recently got the Prospect Store. So, you know, I knew Big Dipper was going to be our neighbor. And
Okay.
I knew the town loved Big Dipper. So I was just kind of throwing ideas at the wall to see what would stick. And I was like, well, let's just do like a crowdsourced vote on Facebook and have them throw suggestions at us.
Good.
We'll pick our favorites, right? We'll pick our top, I think it was like the top 5, 6 maybe. Put them in a poll and then have the public vote on those ones. So it was like a 2-week process. And I wanted to do that because I wanted our shoppers to feel like they had a part to play and get kind of like emotionally invested in this ice cream, you know, because it was such a long process. So anyways, long story short, Labada Bing ended up being the flavor that won. It was suggested by one of my favorite customers, Barbara.
Awesome.
Shout out Barbara. She won like, what was it, like a gallon of it, Harry?
Yeah, she got a gallon.
A
She got,
gallon?
like, more than she could probably eat in a year.
Oh my gosh.
So Labada Bean came out in like May, and it was crazy. I mean, I think like Prospect and Watertown sold out twice in one day on opening day.
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay, this is probably just going to sell like crazy for a couple weeks. People are going to be like totally into it, and then it's going to die off because, like, you know, whatever, they lose interest.
Bad.
Nope, it stayed like our number one item company wide. I believe it. Quote me on this. It was the number one item company wide from May to August. And then eventually we discontinued it to bring in a fall flavor. Realized we made a horrible mistake discontinuing it, not the fall flavor, but discontinuing it was a huge mistake. So we brought it back right in time for Christmas. And there's also Labada Bing ice cream pie.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we brought those two back for Christmas, and then right after that was the Labada Bing stout. So it's crazy how this like random idea became its own kind of like, I don't know, this crazy item. I don't know, this crazy thing. It's insane what became of it. I feel like I owe Barbara some royalties for this.
Jerry called me and goes, "Hey, I got to pass this idea by you." I'm like, "Oh boy, what do you got coming up in your head now?"
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about what's in the future in a bit. I'll tell you what. Lawrence, like, you're the man behind the beer fridge there, and there's a lot of local over there at Le Bon's and Prospect. Tell us about, like, you know, the kind of beers people can expect when they go to your store, and why you guys, like, tell us a little bit about some of your favorite beers in there.
Oh, geez. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
There's so many. Well, it's actually funny you say that, though. We actually did just start doing something recently called my mix 4-packs of the week. And I've been picking, like, we're trying to do a thing where I pick like 4 different ones every week, and we put it with each single can in a 4-pack, and price it based on the the price of each can. So you get a little bit of variety of everything and stuff I've personally have enjoyed in the past, and so those can kind of give you a good idea on what I really enjoy in there.
What do you got in this week's 4-pack?
So, if I remember correctly, I believe it's Front Porch's Celestial Sleepover.
When I Rest, I Rust, I think it is.
No. When I Rest, I Rust. I'm sorry. Yep. The Pilsner. Which is one of my favorite Pilsners. Apple of My Eye by Transcend, of course, and which was like a sour, like an apple cider sour. It was very good. And I'm trying to remember the other two.
Double Dubious, I think.
Double Dubious from Bad Sons, correct? Yes.
And the
last one is escaping me too, but
it's sports one by American.
Yes.
Football.
Oh yeah, all the sports. Yes, it's like a cranberry lime lager. It's very, very good. I thought it got really slept on over the last like few months or so. When it came out, it didn't get a lot of hype, but I've tried it personally, and I really do enjoy it a lot. So
very nice. I'll tell you what, we got some user questions here. Let's take some from our audience. Mention it in the comment, and we'll relay it to the crew. My buddy Art here is asking, what temperature do you suggest drinking Big Dipper?
Actually, a good question. I feel like if Eric was here, he'd probably that's probably a question for Eric.
I know those guys are writing. I'm trying to message you guys. Your webcam and mic is not connected, so we can't admit you.
Uh-oh.
So once they figure that out, we'll get them in. But yeah, that's why I kind of paused on your question there, Al, because I'm waiting for the Brewers to get in. They're having technical difficulties.
Eric said 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, you could even take it right out of the fridge. And still, it'll as it warms up, your flavor profile is gonna adjust a little bit accordingly, and it's gonna be a little bit different as it gets warmer. So, which is cool too. So,
I think the flavor profile is probably a little different when it's room temperature as compared to straight out of the fridge. I would imagine.
Right.
And also, I saw some pictures of people, I didn't think this was kind of cool, is they had a scoop of ice cream as they're eating their beer. They were eating the ice cream as well, and they said the flavor profile even came out even more in the beer. It enhanced it.
Yeah.
Eric called me yesterday to tell me that he and his buddy I think it was yesterday, but anyways, he and his buddy had dropped a scoop of ice cream into the stout.
Right into it.
And he said it was next level, and I had the thought of doing that, but I was hesitant on bringing it up to him from the jump because I didn't want to take his beer and turn it into
a milkshake or
I just didn't want to change the integrity of it, you know what I mean, and kind of make a not a joke out of it, but turn it into a caricature of itself.
Right.
But he brought it to me and was like, "Yo, you guys should promote this." So, last second, kind of threw a call out to Harry and said, double up those batches of Levada Bingman promo. Try to get these people to bundle the.
It's a great combination, and what a bundle. Yeah, I mean, it's really to bring all of you guys together and make this great craft product. It's pretty cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me ask the man himself. Eric was,
here he goes.
We have Eric here. We'll see if he meant for the beer and the ice cream to come together in a glass.
What's going on?
Eric,
I'm here now.
There you are.
Yes,
Awesome.
we have millions watching us worldwide. No pressure.
I had to log on my phone. My computer wasn't working for some reason.
That's all right. Hey, well, we're happy to have you here. Man, what a day. People just love your beer, and tell us a little bit about Transcend and like the stuff that you're cranking out of brewery, because you told me you guys like to think out of the can over there. Outside the can.
So listen, we have over 100 breweries in Connecticut, and we have amazing, phenomenal beer in our local scene. We have a different business model. Obviously, we don't have a tap room. So we need to make beer that will draw customers, make customers want to come to our brewery to purchase a 4-pack to go, essentially like a liquor store, like Le Bon's awesome craft beer selection. But, to do that, you can't make just an ordinary everyday beer. So we try to, quote unquote, think outside the can, make things that, some people call hype beer, whatever. It's okay with us. It sits well with us. We just want to make things that are different that will bring people to us. Otherwise, it's not really a great business. So.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you're so acute to what people want, because I think they spoke today. I mean, a collaboration, a beer made by you, and it's sold out so quickly. Give the people I wish more brewers listen to people like you do. You give the people what they want.
And I think you differentiate yourself from the rest of the brewers when you do that, and just a little something different. I mean, especially with, this was not, I think not all brewers maybe are open to bringing in so many different parties, because it is a lot. I mean, it was a lot of work, I'm sure, for you to work with, more than 1 or 2 people, so to collaborate. So, and I'm sure you had your own vision, and sometimes brewers are just so dead set on, doing it their way, but it seemed like you were really open to having us join in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to consider myself one type of a brewer. There's a lot of traditionalists out there.
Right.
I try to push the boundaries. I try to make different things that might catch people off guard, but in a good way. And I think this was a perfect opportunity to do something like that. I mean, the stouts that I like to make in general anyway are a little bit sweeter, more dessert-like, borderline pastry stout, and typically milk stouts, just because that's what I like to drink. I don't like anything too acrid, too astringent. And so this fit the bill perfect. I mean, there's no, a dessert stout and ice cream. It just goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dessert style, before you hopped on, the guys are kind of chatting because people are starting to take Big Dipper ice cream and put it in the beer. I mean, do you prove?
Are you cringing at that? Or are you like, oh?
No way. My buddy John and I did that yesterday. We took a scoop of Big Dipper. We threw it in a glass of Labada Bing, and it brought the beer to the next level. I mean, if that's the way that it tasted, when I canned it, that would have been awesome. But no, I recommend it. I think everybody should do it. It's fantastic.
That's awesome, because I know Jared and I were saying, oh God, we don't want to be disrespectful to the beer or the brewer.
Well, Eric says
no. So anything you could do that you think is going to make it better, I'm all for it.
Yeah, totally. Well, I have a great question here from our viewer. Robert asked, Harry, how do you like being the Willy Wonka of ice cream?
It's the best thing I could ever have.
Robert, why are you hiding behind the chat?
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a golden ticket in a beer can today. So, yeah, if you get it, you might win half the factory. Keep drinking. Maybe you'll pitch yourself getting there. Here's another great question. Let's see. This one's for Eric. I mean, do you find any flavor combo inspirations for other beer companies when you're brewing?
Hold on, my eyes kind of suck these days, and this is on my phone. So, do I find any of my flavor combos? What's it say?
Inspiration from other beer companies.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, listen, I try to drink as much without sounding like an alcoholic as I can. But I call it R&D, but we're inspired by a lot of different breweries. I mean, there's amazing breweries, around us in Connecticut and obviously all around the U.S. And I'm constantly sampling as much as I can. And, I want to emulate and make beers that are similar to the things that I really enjoy. So, of course, we're always finding inspiration in other breweries.
Yeah, totally. Well, speaking of other brewers, Jared, let's talk about Jared and Lawrence. Let's talk about Le Bon's and like getting deeper. Like you guys, how many talk about all the Connecticut brewers who get at your places, and tell us more about why craft, right? Local beer, and why so many Connecticut brewers. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about like what other Connecticut brewers people can expect to see at your store.
Oh, I mean,
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, right. Well, if you don't want to let the cat out of the bag, you don't have to tell.
No, hey, I mean, Lawrence, I think we could agree. I mean, we're expanding. Prospect is expanding a little bit. I mean, we do have 4 locations, so we can only speak for Prospect at this point. You know, we have 4 other actually great beer guys, right, Lawrence? I mean, we got Eric up in Salisbury, Han in Woodbury, Josh in Watertown, and then of course Paulo and Lawrence in Prospect. But I'll let Lawrence answer about the bringing in new breweries and stuff. But as far as working with other breweries in Connecticut and stuff, I mean, what drew me to it, I mean, you guys know I don't drink, which I think would shock a lot of people with like the beer stuff I've been working on. So I'm just like enamored by like the diversity in the craft beer scene. And it kind of reminds me, like when you look at a beer case, it kind of takes me back to like collecting like a Pokemon card or something. I don't know if you guys might not be old enough to remember Pokemon cards, but
I remember that.
But when I look at them, that's what I get. That's that like it's like you want to like collect them, like you want to buy all these cans and like make them yours and just look at them all. So that's what, like kind of the drive I get. And then of course it's just like the Connecticut beer scene especially is just it's blossoming. I mean, look at Eric and Transcend. They're newer, and of course he's had his endeavors beforehand, but he's hit the ground running, and he's like, you would think that they've been around for a minute. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's just the drive I get, and we do have. I'm not going to say anything, but like this is not going to be the last LeBon's beer of the year. There's going to be more stuff coming out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a good. I guess we do have another. Another beer collab. I think you hit it at it. Any more share, or you sort of keep it at that?
Rob LeBon is in the chat, so I can't say too much because I want to get my job. But yeah, I mean, we've got some stuff going on. I'm casting a couple lines out. We want to spread the wealth. And then of course, hopefully next year we could revisit Labada Bing. Maybe down the road, do a little bit more with Eric. We're definitely going to be revisiting Pumpkin Fest this year with Reverie.
I love that one.
And we'll go from there. But there's a few things on my checklist.
Yeah, nice. So stay tuned. In other words, and that's a good segue. If you guys are not following LeBon's, we're going to leave this banner up here for a little bit. That's their Instagram handle. Follow these guys. So you guys do a great job at informing people like what local stuff you have on the shelves. And speaking of, Transcend, I mean, I know you guys did distribution. You only can be found at LeBon's Markets, right? Talk about that relationship and how that started.
Yeah, well, we're a small brewery, so a 5-barrel system doesn't give us a whole lot of cases for each batch that we do. So we have to really limit how much distribution, especially with our business model, because the more that we discount, the harder it is for us to cover all of our overhead and everything else. So our business model essentially is come to us to purchase. But we thought that LeBon's was perfect because it's very similar to our, family owned and kind of small business. And we love that aspect of it. So essentially for us, it works out great, and we could distribute to them. And then that's essentially the only other place that you could really buy our beer outside of our brewery to go. We do sell to other restaurants for on-site consumption. But other than that, where you're going to be consuming while you're, having a meal or whatever, yeah, LeBon's is pretty much it.
Yeah, and that's also, I saw some people said that they were not able to get the beer today, but to Eric's point, you can get his beer only at LeBon's, and I know it's in that fridge. So if you haven't had it, try. Like I say, it's really different and unique.
Lawrence, did we sell out of Blue Lagoon yet? We got Blue Lagoon in today.
We have plenty of it. I was actually just gonna say that. If you did miss out on the Bada Bing, I know it's a disappointing thing, but at the same time, we have plenty of other of Eric's great beers in there. And the newest release for them this week is actually it's not really new. It's a return of an older True Colors called Blue Lagoon, and it's delicious. It's definitely one of my favorites of the True Colors series. I 100% recommend it. So
Yeah, I actually had a taste of that on Monday when I was watching you guys can. I was like, wow, this is really good. I think it was maybe my favorite one that I've had so far. So
yeah. It's flying under the radar a little bit this week because of everything going on, but
yeah.
it's definitely really, really good. So
it is.
Don't sleep on it.
And what's in this beer? What ingredients?
In Blue Lagoon?
Yeah.
So it's a smoothie style sour. It's a 6% sour ale, and it's got blueberry, passion fruit, and mango.
Nice.
So heavily fruited. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a great combo because it's got from the passion fruit you get the tartness, and then the blueberry and the mango add a sweetness. So it's really well balanced. And just on that side note, for people who did miss out on Bada Bing, we have another stout coming out in 2 weeks that Laban's will also have, I'm sure.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and then just a quick question from my friend Art here asked. He wanted to know if he could bring in his receipt tomorrow to get $1 off the ice cream.
Yes.
Yes, Art, did you hear that? You can get your $1 off. Come back and get more Transcend Blue Lagoon.
There you go.
Listen, I know Art, and you got to make a float with that. If you get the ice cream, you have to do the float.
I'll tell you what, you can buy your ice cream. Harry, talk about your ice cream for a second. Like, when do you guys reopen, and where can people get your ice cream?
Well, I'll open up my my scoop shop. I'll open up that probably third week of March, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
So right now we're just making ice cream 4 or 5 days a week, just for Laban's and some other small IGA stores that I do deliver to in the area.
And this is your first beer ice cream that you ever collaborated.
Yes, it is. And I couldn't ever imagine working with Eric, with his quality product, crafted, it's been great. This whole experience with everybody and you guys it's been so positive.
And Harry, we only had one person think that they could buy the beer at Big Dipper. So that was a good one.
That's it?
One person thought they could come to Big Dipper for it, apparently. So.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. I got my 4-pack there. I could have sold it,
triple the money.
It was triple. Sell it on the black market.
Sell it on eBay. It's going for big bucks right now.
Yep.
If nobody came to beerfest.com, that would have been something.
Quick plug.
Yeah, for sure. You got to squeeze it in there somewhere. Keep the questions, guys. We'll keep this going as long as you guys want.
Somebody did mention they heard you say, Eric, that there might be another Transcend Stout on the horizon.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks we have it was actually another collaboration, believe it or not, with Great Falls Brewing out of Canaan.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be a 8.8% milk stout. It's called 7 Layers of Sin, and it's basically everything. I mean, there's everything in it. It's going to be, bear with me here. It's going to be chocolate, marshmallow, graham cracker, roasted peanut, coconut, butterscotch, vanilla. So yeah, it's a big dessert stout.
Oh wow!
I know.
That sounds great.
That Jonas from Great Falls is cranking out some good stuff, and I'm hearing things.
Yep.
And now you guys are coming together to brew this in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh,
Jared, you can hook us up, right? I mean, you got.
There'll probably be another line for that.
The wrong guy. You gotta ask Big L Dog up there.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
He'll backdoor it. I don't got.
I got a great question here from Robert. What's the story behind the artwork at Transcend? And maybe talk about the artwork on the can too, because I got a lot of compliments on that.
I designed the can label based on the Bada Bing ice cream label. And so I just pulled elements from Harry's, logo with the ice cream cone, and then right off of their label, pulled chocolate chips, pulled the cherries. We we try to have some continuity to our labels. So all of our stout labels are very similar, where we have the big logo front and center, and we have a picture in the background. In the label itself, it's faded out except for in the symbol. So the symbol actually is like full color pop, full pop. So yeah, that's just how I designed it, with essentially pulling the elements off the ice cream.
Nice.
And shout out Liz, man. Liz is our graphic designer over here at Laban. So a lot of those elements from the Labada Bing label were moved, in-house organically from Liz in the Laban's office. So she does everything. She made the Pumpkin Fest label. So shout out to her.
She does some great work.
Yes.
Very nice work.
So this is a true local project, brewed local,
Right down to the artwork.
sold, promoted.
Got it.
So there's everything. You're supporting local in more ways than one. And she did a great poster too, which is pretty awesome.
Very talented.
Very nice. Let me take another question here for all you got retailers of beer. It's a little controversial, but does CT Beer support hard cider?
Seltzer.
Seltzer. I need a hard cider or seltzer. I don't know. What do you
I
think?
don't know. I can't speak for CT. Do you support it, Kevin?
Me? I mean, hey, I tell our stance on anything is drink what you like. Of course we support local, of course we support craft breweries, but we're here to try to recruit people on. We're trying to turn people on to craft beer. We're not gonna act like snobs and chase people away. So
I think anything craft, made local, small business, I can get behind.
Yeah, and to that end too, I mean, we've seen some local breweries banging out some hard seltzer.
If it's not your style, just like some people prefer maybe lagers over IPAs. It's everybody has a different palate, different style that they like, that they go to. That's their go-to. But I think I try to have open-mindedness and try all different kinds of stuff. And if I know that it's made with love and made locally and is employing all local, people, I try and get behind it and support it.
Yeah, totally. And I know Knott Hill, so many are trying it, and it goes back to people are asking for it. Give it to them. I remember a few years ago, I was at a conference in Denver, and the speaker was like trashing hazy IPAs. And it was out on the West Coast, obviously. Denver. At that time, I was like, "Oh man, being an East Coast guy, I'm like, really?" Now look at it. I'm pretty sure every West Coast brewery has a hazy IPA offering. So adapt, create, innovate. That's what's great about craft beer, is that so many different styles, so many different flavors. You guys are really creative in like what you do. So
I'm willing to try just about anything. There's so many creative brewers out there doing some really cool things that I would hate to not try something just because I have a preconception of it or something.
So I guess in this part, are we for hard seltzer? Yes, if it's made by local brewers.
Right on.
From the big guy, that's not for us. But if you like it, you're lost, I guess. I don't know. What do you want to say?
Hey, Kev, can I plug another? I just saw a question here. It said, where can we buy the Labada Bing candle?
Oh, yes, please tell us about that.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like an unofficial fifth business that was involved in this whole thing. They're called Wicked Candle, CAN parenthesis DLE close parenthesis, Wicked Candle Creations. And so it's a husband and wife duo that live locally, and they create these custom candles from scratch. You bring them a can, they make you your candle, any scent you want, I believe like any color candle you want. So I reached out to them, and they made me 4 Labada Bing candles for a giveaway we did today. But if you join their Facebook group, which I've linked a couple times on a few of the giveaway posts, but if you join their Facebook group, they do great work. And so we don't sell them at the store, but you could easily, it's a quick, easy process. They couldn't make it any more smoother getting this can, especially with COVID going on. You can't really do like meetups and stuff like that. Super easy process. So I would highly recommend them.
And I think you told me too that if you bring them a beer can, they'll pretty much candle any beer you bring them, right?
Yeah, and any scent. So she seems to get it done. I mean, there's all different wacky, different beers on her page, and that profile and description seems to fit the beers almost perfectly. So
Yeah, totally. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll pose this next question. Maybe Eric and Lawrence, you could answer this one. 1994 is asking. We've seen IPAs, the seltzers, the super hazy IPAs, the juicy sours. What do you think is the next big trend in craft beers?
Man, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I saw the whole like fruited sour, fruited sour trend happening early on. I think New Park was one of the first ones to really jump on that with Blender, and that I think that started changing the whole fruited sour scene for Connecticut. But the next big thing, I don't know. I feel like the trend is. I feel like a lot of people might be, I don't want to say getting tired of like super juicy hazy IPAs because that'll never happen. But like, I feel a lot of people want a more crisp beer again, whether it's a lager pilsner or a West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's going to necessarily be the next trend, but I think more breweries are going to start putting out more beers like that, just to have a little bit more of a variety.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've been trying to figure out what the next trend's going to be because obviously that would be great for business.
Yeah. Well, Lawrence, what's your take on that?
I'm actually on the same wavelength as Eric is on that. I actually do believe that is probably going to be the next thing. I think people are looking for more simplicity, and simplicity and just that crispness, and that's not so much that overpowering like IPA or that. I think some people are going to go towards that like a lager or like a really well made lager or pilsner or whatnot, or even like you said, like West Coast IPAs too, because I actually prefer West Coast IPAs personally to hazy stuff. But yeah, I agree. I think that's actually where things could end up going in the next few years as things settle down a little bit.
Interesting. Yeah, it's deja vu all over again. The traditional beers don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years.
Yeah.
I think there's enough room in this space to have just such a wide variety of beer, and I think that's what makes craft beer so cool. I mean, that's one of the things I like is be able to get a flight when I go to a craft beer bar or something and choose so many different types and styles of beer. I think that's kind of what makes craft beer so unique and so much fun.
Yeah, and Eric, these kind of beers are really challenging, like a lagers and IPA. They're challenging the brew, right? I mean, they're a lot of work.
Yeah, believe it or not, the hoppier the beer, I think the more challenging it is. I mean, a well executed lager pilsner, which really is a lager, also, they're tough as well to get super clean and to get that like fresh malt character in the beers. But once you start trying to add a ton of hops into a beer, it becomes more challenging as well. And that's where some of these really juicy, hazy IPAs, they fall into that category. But I think, you make minor tweaks, and that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm happy with my IPAs, but I don't think they're, world renowned. And I'm just constantly trying to tweak every single time I brew a batch and just trying to make it better and better. Just to get as best, the best that you can.
Yeah, totally. Well, maybe we'll see a lager on your offering one day. We'll see.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. How about, do you guys have any questions for each other that you want to ask? I think we're coming to an end real soon. I think Jen's tired.
I'm sure all of you are. You've been brewing beer all day and working the store. And
how about you guys? Questions for each other? Any questions? Harry has a question. He's chomping at the bit.
Oh, I am? I do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, I hope to do something with Eric with an ice cream that I can serve at my store on a cone. I'd like to start doing something with him like that. We talked a little bit about it, so I hope we can, make it happen.
I want to take it one step further and actually infuse ice cream into a beer. So
that'd be interesting.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, like a super creamy, something, whether it's a sour or another stout, but like actually have ice cream as part of the beer. I think
That'd be cool.
awesome. Instead of making a float after the fact, have that be what's canned up. I think that would
Now,
be
have you heard any other breweries throughout the country ever do that?
cool. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a brewery called RAR, R-A-R, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they actually use ice cream, but they call it their like house pastry base or something. I'm not exactly sure. And it's insane. It's like super creamy, and you know, my whole thing is because I've never done it before, I don't know how spoilage would be and stuff like that. So I just have to do a little bit more research, but I think that'd be great.
Anything you need from me, just let me know. We'll figure it out.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
And if you need somebody for R&D, you let us know.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
That's awesome.
Lauren.
For Jared's brain to keep on turning, what the next thing he's going to want to do, you know?
Yeah.
You're
He's not
asking me?
talking.
He's an idea man.
Yes, he is.
Well,
The Bucks, you know, they're very lucky to have him.
Yes, they are.
Creative, and just energetic at everything, you know?
Yeah.
thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rob LeBon might have asked what you guys thought of hard seltzers for a reason, so I'll leave it that. And then, I got something cooking up with Harry, and a chocolatier and waterberry.
Ooh.
So you'll be seeing that pretty soon.
Yep.
Hopefully in time for Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So you know, keep your eyes open. But I
Right.
actually had a question for Lawrence, because I love picking this guy's brain. Lawrence, top 3 wish list. Who do you want to get in the store next? What breweries do we not have yet that you want? It could be like super
these are.
hypothetical. You know
Oh,
what
I mean, oh yeah, and these are definitely like number 1, 100% is Fox Farm. Absolutely hoping, praying at some point they have the means and manpower to do some distribution of cans. No, it's not probably realistic at the moment, but would love to see it. Number 2, absolutely, and Eric already mentioned them. New Park, love their stuff. They're fantastic. Again, I hope they at some point have the ability, manpower to distribute. At this moment, I'm trying to think of a third one. Those 2 are like, when you ask me, those are like my top 2, like, and that come off right at the top of my head. They are just fantastic breweries. So I just have a hard time coming up with another one.
I want New Asylum, because I think that the marketing to do it their whole little
and
model.
Kinsman, we are also hoping to get in very soon. They're also not very far from our store.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're right down the road.
As well, we've been looking into it, and we're hoping at some point we can make that happen as well. So
Beautiful.
Well, I tell you, you guys have an amazing supply there already and variety to pick from. It was like super impressive. I couldn't stop looking. I was like, I'm sure I missed some because there's so much to choose from. I kept, going back and forth over the shelves because I was like, it was like almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh no, it absolutely can be going over there. But my big thing is I just want something for everybody there. I don't want it to be just an IPA land. I don't want it to be just like a sour land. I don't want it to be
it's great variety.
just the basics either. But I want something for everybody. That's my big thing. And my big belief is there is a beer or malt beverage for everybody, I think, out there. So
Definitely.
My goal is to match people with what they really want to have and discover new things. So
And there's something for everybody at LeBon's. And the thing is about craft beer, so many different styles and variety. Try them all.
Yes, and full pour, we do have Alvarium. They are one of our most important assets in our case, if to put it lightly. They are one of the best breweries in the state right now. I'm sure Eric would 100% agree with me on that. They are fantastic over there.
Yep.
And so they're great. And yes, so we do have them. Please stop by if you ever wanted to and grab some, please.
Yeah. And in March, go to Prospect and go to Big Dipper right next door. Beer and ice cream to go.
I have a
And
question for Eric.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to outdo yourself with the Skittles beer?
I don't think that would be as big of a hit as it was, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I mean, that's all open to interpretation, I guess. Yeah, I didn't. I just had an idea for ever since my last endeavor. I've been wanting to do a Skittles sour, and finally came to do it. And yeah, it was a way bigger hit than I anticipated. So no, I'll just make
You
it
are
again.
not kidding. I thought I was gonna have to fight people off when we got that in the store. So
I'm
I
still
love
waiting
looking
for
at
a
beer
cease and desist on that.
I love looking at beer cases because it's just like copy and write infringement waiting to happen on like so many different.
I may make some minor changes next time to the label, just so I can see. But yeah.
Who said Skittles? I didn't see that.
I didn't
Who said
see
Chittles? I thought it was Chittles beer.
Does anyone have any last minute questions? I know these guys are, it's Friday night. They've been up all day, probably working. So I don't know, does anyone have any last minute questions in the chat for either Eric or Harry, Jared?
Or what's great about this, you know what? Go to their place. These are the guys.
You could see them.
You can see them. You can talk to them from a distance. Wear your mask.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll look like this.
No, I you almost got on.
I've known Lawrence for like 12 years, and like I still like forget what he looks like without his mask because I've just completely forgotten.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, people see me and I'm like, they're like, Kevin, I'm like, wait, like,
Who
how
are
did-
you?
how did Batman get away with that? He wore a mask and it never knew who he was. And Superman only wore glasses. And people, maybe it's my big head. I don't know. They're like, oh, there's a guy with a big head. It's Kevin.
Looks like we have one.
We have one more. Full pour, Nick and Sam, my buddies.
We'll end with this question.
You get the last question. What is your favorite flavor combo in a stout? All you guys can answer that one.
Well, I'll start. I'm a huge peanut butter fan, so I like peanut butter. I love banana. One of my favorite stouts, Lawrence mentioned Kinsman, was Long Live the King, and that was a peanut butter banana stout, which was absolutely phenomenal. So that's one of my favorites.
Oh man, I'm
oh,
not ordering already.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Lawrence, how about you, man? I see the wheel. Like you have a few. Let us know them all.
it's you know what I know this is gonna sound basic and bare bones, but I just love bourbon barrel aged stuff. It really just at the end of the day, bourbon barrel aged and not even a lot else. Just kind of give me the basic bourbon barrel aged stout. 1050 barrel aged is one of my favorite beers actually ever. So amongst a couple other ones, and of course, like I love the Goose bourbon stuff and everything, you know. But yeah, those are 100% my favorite type of stouts.
Nice. Eric, any plans for bourbon barrel stouts in the future? I mean, I love those too.
Yeah, absolutely. In the future, we're super limited with our space right now, and to try to barrel age some stuff out of this particular location might be, prove difficult. But we have plans, hopefully in the next couple of years, to move into a bigger space, have a tap room, and then do a full-on barrel program. So yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh man, beautiful things ahead.
Definitely.
Well, guys,
Thank you all, and thank you all so much for collaborating and being so welcoming and open to the idea and easy to work with.
we're doing one next week, Jen. Every week we're doing this. Putting my job, I'm going to work for Harry and LeBon's and Transcend.
Yep.
I'm just going to dump grain. They're going to pay me like $80,000 a year. It's going to be awesome.
Not a problem. You better sell a lot of ice cream.
Door, Kevin. You can take temps at the door.
Yeah.
People will love you.
See you guys in real life soon, in person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Transcend, Eric for Transcend, thank you. Harry
Thank
from Big Dipper Prospect, Lawrence and Jared from LeBon's. Awesome local businesses.
Yep.
This is why we do what we do. Because
Absolutely.
you're dealing with great people who make a great product.
That put love and care and want good quality in their product and stand behind their product and know that it's their reputation and their name on the product, and it's definitely clear that you guys take that
Yeah.
seriously.
And this is only the beginning, so I hope you're following Transcend. Hope you're following LeBon's because more is coming. You think you missed out today? You don't want to miss
Just
out
wait.
again.
And
So
what, real quickly, why don't we say, Eric, how do people get your beer right now on your website? How do they get it?
Yeah, so we're open every Friday evening and Saturday. So Friday 5 to 7:30 p.m., Saturday 10 to 2. You can come right to the brewery. We have different releases every week, and everything that we release each week we also send to LeBon's. So they'll have a limited selection. I think you guys send it to all 4 stores, right? Or at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if Salisbury
Yeah, it
gets everything.
depends on the
Yeah.
Salisbury and Salisbury have a smaller pack out, so it depends on what they have open. But yeah.
But
depends.
yeah, since we started working with LeBon's, they've been picking up every release that we've had every week. So if you can't come to us during those hours, if you work retail also, I know it's difficult for some people, then you could get it at their store. But yeah, come right to us, and we sell direct to the consumer. And we sell in person, we sell by the single can.
Oh,
Yes.
Online, we only do 4 packs just because we don't want hundreds and hundreds of like single can orders just for processing. But yeah, we put the new releases online every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
okay.
And then pick up either Friday or Saturday, your choice.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great. Well, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Please stay healthy. And we look forward to doing this again.
yes.
See you soon.
Thank
Until
you,
next time.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Good night.
Thank
And viewers,
you.
thank you for your support and making this a huge success.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are doing more.
All of you guys. Thank you so much. Bravo.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Cheers.